On March the 17th this year, I will hit a big landmark where I will hit 25. I've made a lot of progress since I first discovered self-improvement and started my journey back in lockdown 2020. You probably can't put your finger on exactly when you started your journey, or even exactly why it was that you started your journey initially. But over time, something creeps up inside of us and we realise, okay, maybe I'm not exactly where I want to be in my life, and maybe I just want that little bit more from my life. I'm not satisfied with working a 9 to 5 job. I'm not satisfied in my relationship. I'm not satisfied in my hometown. This is a thing that a lot of people deal with, and young people, especially with the rise of social media, seeing influencers and other people live life on their own terms and thinking, you know what, I want a piece of this. And over the last couple of weeks or so myself, I felt, you know what, I'm not 19, I'm not 20, I'm not 21 anymore. I'm getting a little bit older. I have to put in a bit more work because I've felt the last few months that I've had a bit of a pullback where I haven't been hitting the levels that I was when I was 20 and 21 and thinking, you know what, I'm young, I've got time, I've got loads of time to make this work. And you might be a bit older yourself and chuckling, listening to me being 24, turning 25 and thinking, what's this kid on about? Like, he's got so much time ahead of me. And of course, in that respect, hopefully I do. Hopefully I have many years ahead of me where I can have a great life and do everything and more that I want to with my life. But I think between the age of 25 and 30, we are really going to see who has put the work in, who was all talk, who was all saying this stuff, making these TikTok reels and doing all this shit and saying they're going to create the business and hit 6 figures and travel the world and do all this stuff. But you do start to see, even at my age now, the people that have actually started to put in the work. And that a lot of people were clearly just talk. And it's, like I say, it's going to become more and more apparent over time. And the thing that I really realised is, that sounds so obvious, time is going by all the time, constantly. By the time March the 17th, 2031, I will be 30 years old, whether I like it or not. There's absolutely nothing I can do about that whatsoever. That is just how time works, and this is all very obvious, but I really don't think that hits home to a lot of people, that time is going to go by anyway, and what you decide to do with it is completely in your hands. Obviously, things happen in life. I know that better than everyone. I'm sure if you've been following this channel for a while, you know I lost my mum. I've had a lot of personal struggles, struggled a lot with mental health, physical health, just finding kind of my place in the world, finding what I really want to do and passion. I'm still somewhat finding that. Struggled with relationships, struggled with confidence, you know, dealing with a lot of things, especially mentally, which I know that you and I probably relate to a lot, and a lot of people go through that at this age, of course. But I think that if I was to take my foot off the gas, if I thought, you know what, I've put in a few years of work, I can just take it easy now and not really do a lot, I know that time is going to catch up with me, and this kind of time, 25 to 30, you're not going to get this energy back ever again. You're not going to be as young as you are in this moment, and that's something we're always going to have throughout our life. And it would be a shame, I think, and I think we'd all look back with a sense of regret if we didn't really put that work in now, because you're not going to have more time and energy than this right now. And if you have goals that you want to achieve, you pretty much have 2 options. You go all in and achieve those goals, or you renounce those goals, those desires in your life, and you accept that it's just a pipe dream and that's that. But I think it's far easier for you to actually go and achieve those goals, because they're probably somewhat attainable, to achieve a certain level of wealth, to achieve a certain level of physique, to, you know, travel to certain places in the world, to have a certain type of relationship. I genuinely think that is very achievable for you, whatever that specific goal is that you have in mind. And I think you need to take some time to really think, am I all talk, or am I going to do this? Because you're going to have those feelings of guilt and shame, which can only be portrayed back on yourself if you don't go and achieve those goals, or think that you will go out and do it, but you're not prepared to put in the work. And I think that's the problem, because there's a lot of ambitious but lazy people out there, and I know people personally who are very much like this, that they tell me all this stuff, they've been saying it for years, but they're in the same position, or quite frankly for a lot of people in a worse position than they were at 20 and 21, saying all of this shit, and they've not gone and done it. They've just ended up getting a normal job. They've really slacked off in a lot of different ways, especially physically and mentally. A lot of the time you just see them, already on the decline. And I think you have to, the best way you can do this is picture that person who you want to be. What does this person look like? What is this person doing on a day-to-day? What time do they wake up? Do they have control of that? Are they living for someone else's dream? What are they doing with their time? Do they have complete control? Can they just wake up, go to the gym, make some money online, not have to be in one set location at a time? What is this person's persona like? How do they treat other people? There's a lot of, you can go in extreme minute details, and I feel like the more minute details you go on, the more you're going to become this person. You have to start acting like this person in the position you're in now, even though this is going to probably feel very uncomfortable. You're going to kind of have imposter syndrome when you initially do this and feel like a bit of a fraud, I think. But I think that is the only way you're going to kind of become that person that you want to. And it'll probably be more, like I say, a lot more achievable than you truly believe. But you have to take some time, obviously, to become that person. It takes time to put in the work, and the more you put in the work, the more you're going to feel like that person, whoever that is. But I think for a lot of you, and maybe you watching this video, that you might not initially know what you're looking for. That's how a lot of people go through life, is that they get in a taxi and they don't have a destination, and that's how they're going. And obviously you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't order an Uber and be like, just take me anywhere, I don't know where I'm going. But that is how a lot of people are navigating their life currently. And I think that you owe this to your future self, is that it is possible. Anything is possible that you put your mind to, however big that goal is. And the bigger your goal, the probably, at least you're going to get closer to that goal, rather than setting really small, kind of like pathetic, half-hearted goals that, are easily achievable, and then you don't even go on to achieve them. Like, what is that for you? And I think from watching this video, I hope this can be, we can hold each other accountable from this video to come back in 5 years' time and think, okay, what have we achieved? And hopefully you leave a comment and be like, okay, I've set this goal of achieving X amount of money, maybe moving to somewhere else in the world, having this level of freedom, having this physique, having this state mentally, all of this stuff. And I hope you come back in a few years and be like, okay, I achieved all of this and more. Like, my life is genuinely a lot better than I could have ever imagined. And that's what I believe is possible for myself and you, that if you do put the work in, if you kind of just stay clear from the modern world that we live in, keep away from the distractions, keep away from the drugs, the alcohol, the women in your life that are not good for you, the friends that are no good for you, even family, whatever it may be, anything that you know is bad for you, stay away from it. It sounds a bit like you're speaking to a child, but a lot of the time with a lot of people, that you need to speak this level. And I think a lot of people don't even acknowledge that the things they're doing are bad for them, and it's taking them further away from your goal. And if you were pretty much to ignore all of those stuff for a year, you'd be absolutely gobsmacked about what you can achieve. And I had this conversation the other day with someone. It's like, you'd be absolutely shell-shocked what you could do in a day if you just turned your phone off, if you just cut out the distractions for a whole day, how much you could do. And imagine that compounding over a week, over a month, over 3 months, 6 months, a year. You would achieve everything and more that you've ever desired. And I think if you can do 3 major things in a year, you've set the bar so high. And if you can just keep doing that 2-3 things every year, imagine a decade of that. You pretty much would have everything you want. You have you've achieved like 20 big things over 10 years. Like, how many people do you know have done that? Pretty much no one, probably, because I don't really, not personally anyway. But that is easily possible. That is really not that hard, to have 2-3 big goals and go all out on them for a year, and then see where you end up at, because you will frankly achieve more than that. It's just dedication. It's just being disciplined. It's just ignoring the bullshit of the modern world, the wrong people, the wrong things for us, because unfortunately that's what a lot of us do. And we all only have a finite amount of time. I think about this a lot. I think about death a lot, and it's probably not a good thing. And a lot of people don't want to think about it because it makes them very uncomfortable. We have 24 hours in a day, and I think mornings are key to success in this. Getting the productive stuff done in the morning, so-called kind of eating the frog in the morning, getting the hard things done that we don't really want to do, but we know they're the things that are going to move the needle in our day, and also the weeks, the months ahead, the bigger things in life, the bigger picture, the goals that we want to achieve. You have to use them very productively and be very scarce with your time. Don't give your time away to anyone, because again, this is from my personal experience. I've done that. I've given my time up for jobs, for people that don't value my time and is not, again, getting me any closer to where I want to be. So you have to use that as that's the most important commodity that you have, your time and energy. It's way more important than a bit of money, a minimum wage job, spending time with people who offer nothing for you. You have to really, really, change. And I think that comes with, you got to update that identity, because that person, that higher version of yourself, the highest version of yourself doesn't give an hour away of their time to someone who doesn't value them, that offers nothing to their life, to a job that's getting them nowhere in life. They don't do that. And I know it doesn't feel uncomfortable. I know it feels uncomfortable. I know it doesn't maybe feel natural for you right now, but to become that person, to achieve the things that you want to in your life, you have to make the sacrifice. And I hope this video can be a sign for you to, I don't like to use the phrase, but lock in on those goals, because your future self is absolutely begging you to do so. And I hope this has been a productive video. I'm not one that I don't really like to watch self-improvement videos myself anymore. And I hope over time that, you can stay clear of that, and that you only watch videos that can genuinely help you and give you that kick up the backside that you may need to have, especially at this moment in time when I see a lot of people I know personally, and people, you just see it in the day-to-day world that we live in, that people have so much potential. I believe that everyone has a certain gift in their life, and everyone has extremely different goals. And it's very important to understand that, and not to push your kind of feelings and whatever your goals are onto other people. But you can go out there and do that, and I really hope this is your sign to do so, because I really want to see you succeed. I want to see myself succeed, but I want to see everyone else succeed. And that's the biggest thing with this channel, is hopefully seeing that you succeed and getting the things that you want in your life, becoming the best version of yourself, becoming happy, becoming fulfilled. Because if we don't have that in life, then what do we have? Absolutely nothing. So I hope this video has been really important for you. It's been a while since I've been back making some content, but I'm feeling a bit like myself again. So hopefully there'll be a lot more content coming over the next few weeks and months. I've got an online Skool community where I'm going to be helping beginners, investors, help become financially, time and locationally free. So if that's something you're interested in, keep watching the videos, and there'll be a Skool community coming out soon. I'll leave my one-to-one personal coaching link if you want any more guidance on what you want to achieve and get in there, and setting up a roadmap. That will be in the description below. Like and subscribe. I'll see you very soon. Take care now.